We're watching TSM Game 3 in ALGS scrims. Now they are using Gibby, Bloodhound, and Ashe. I've gone over this in my other videos, but basically it's a super good fighting comp with Ashe being a very good character to take side angles with and so you can pressure people from two different angles. You have Bloodhound that can scan and give permanent information and permanent wall hacks when in a fight. Those two things combined is just a death sentence for the enemy team if you play it right. Then you also have Gibby, and Gibby's bubble is Gibby as a whole is just needed for competitive, but his bubble and his ultimate is good throughout the whole game. So I think we will see this zone quite soon.
Okay.
Alright, I'm gonna pull up the pen. Now usually when I go over my what's it called, whenever I check zones and try to predict them and stuff like that, I always check first thing is if this edge of the zone and this edge of the zone is touching, so both of them are ending right here. Now that isn't the case, and there's a big gap in between here, and usually when it's a big gap, that means that the zone will center. So the ending zone mathematically would be like over here. But it cannot end on a mountain. The ending circle can't be up here because you can't play up here, right? A bit of the mountain can be in, but not the whole thing. Therefore, this is the obvious landslide zone unless something big changes. The other thing that makes it a landslide zone is the fact that landslide is the only like drop spot or name location in the zone which is fully in the zone, because countdown is cut off, staging is cut off, fragment west is cut off, so landslide is the only one that's fully in. And with them using an edge comp, if you were to be using, like, let's say, I don't know, if you play for zone, right? You can just go into landslide and play the choke here, or you can play the super high ground in landslide. But because of them having an edge comp, you need to just play slow, because you just want to loot up, take your time. You can loot frag west as well, and then up here we will have a lot of fights. And if you are pushing into a fight up here, this is a very open spot, so any team that gets third-partied, it's very easy to third-party someone and grief someone because you have so many sight angles on them in this area. But if you are the first people fighting here and another team pulls up, you're dead. If you are one of the teams that are fighting, but if you pull up Lost and can third-party, that's gonna be super good for fighting in this area. So I would like to see that happen.
Look at this zone, holy shit, it's a landslide for sure.
We're already in the next ring. Now we wait.
So now I'm just gonna 2x speed this.
You want to try and play the tunnel?
And the other thing that makes it so you don't want to play, what's it called, for position, is landslide has like 3 spots. You have 2 chokes, the tunnel with the vault, and you have the tunnel leading between fragment and landslide. And then you have like the super height on landslide and maybe 1 more spot that you can play. That's 4 teams out of 20 that can play in the zone, in the middle of the zone, right? But that's also why.
Yeah, let me see if I can do these guys to get lower.
2 so far.
Let me do one louder.
Nice
We go
shots.
west right, I guess we can fight again, and just like take scraps and go from there. If we go north side, come from the north side. Probably come from the north side, I think, in this zone, but at the same time, the tower's gonna be a bitch to fucking deal with.
Grab these pills over here.
The north. We can go west right, I guess we can fight again, and just like take scraps and go from there. If we go north side, come from the north side. Probably come from the north side, I think, in this zone, but at the same time, like, tower's gonna be a bitch to fucking deal with.
Grab
He's
these pills
saying
over
tower will be like hard to deal with.
here.
I do not agree a single bit, because if you have Ashe, you can directly 3-man portal up on the tower and just take control of that easy. And he knows that after game 1. In game 1, that happened to him, or almost happened to him. So he knows that you can do that with Ash. So fighting over here shouldn't be bad. A bad play.
Direction we come from here was like, do we have any long range? All anyone?
Fight. Good fight.
They're fighting somewhere. They just fought here.
Death box there.
Yeah, Radadon, I think. Maybe.
Now them moving into Frag West, checking the loot, they know that there's already a team landing there, which means that you will only be looting the scrap loot, right? And that in itself just means that, how do you say, if you were to stay and loot all the scraps, that will take so much time that you will just waste time where you could have done something better, maybe crafted your armor or bought a team and gain Evo shield, anything, you know?
Let's go north side.
So
They're
they
getting
know
naded. I
that.
think they're getting thirded.
They know that, and they just, instead of looting the whole Frag West, they just keep going instead. Now you gotta be quite careful because they have 2 whites. They have a gold armor, but 2 whites is quite hard to play with. This and in this, like with other people fighting, you can assume that they at least have blues because they probably fought for a little bit, and some people have already died.
Portal on me, I think. No, they portal on somebody else. Straight ahead of me! Crack the Valk! I cracked the Valk!
On the rock.
I just got headshotted. Res me, Jordan.
Oh well, let's see this.
What?
Ult in. I think they might be swinging on us.
No, right. I didn't hear this guy at all.
It's a 1v1! It's a 1v1! Last guy's here!
Let's see this.
Give me a knock, give me a knock.
Yeah.
Let's go, Evan.
Not over yet.
What's the team doing?
Get Banner. They're coming. Just get Banner and maybe run. They're kind of.
Try and kill yourself if you can. I just can't.
No, I can't.
Alright, I'm gonna go over this again. Now when we've watched it, we can go over it. So they're walking up.
Portal on me, I think.
I don't know, but I think that sound is when a portal disappears. I think it's an ash portal when that disappears. Maybe not. Maybe a wraith portal. Oh no, I think a portal has disappeared, right? So you hear teams. You know people have died here before. You know that there's at least 2 teams in front of you.
No, they portal on somebody else.
Now Hal is doing a very good job of seeing that this guy is taking a bat and that he can shoot him. He was just a little bit too late.
Straight ahead of me. Crack the Valk. I cracked the Valk.
I don't think he realizes how low he is, but he's currently 60 health. And keeps peeking, and that's where the, like, I don't think he realizes that he's cracked. I don't know, but fucking hell. I don't think he realized that, and
On the rock.
I just got headshotted. Res me, Jordan.
and therefore dies.
What?
Ult in. I think they might.
But that is solely just like Hal not realizing that he's that low. Because if Hal doesn't go down, they have high ground, they can shoot and just spray him down like. Wait, I want to get a good. Like, they have high ground over here. If he just doesn't peek and actually heals, because he has 2 teammates that can peek for him, he can heal. Then they have the advantage, right? But with him going down, that just is trash.
Give me a knock, give me a knock.
Yeah.
Let's go, Evan.
Now Verhulst did clutch up a lot because Hal didn't do shit, Reps didn't do much, I don't think. I don't know, I haven't checked this VOD, but Verhulst did clutch up for them, which is good.
Not over yet.
And then Hal fucks up again. Reps like gets finished. Verholz is gonna grab his banner and leave, right? But he can't rest Hal. If he rests Hal, the enemy team will pull up and down Hal again and then kill Verholz.
Get banner. They're coming. Just get.
And right here, when they start shooting him, he should just drop shield. Drop shield immediately.
Banner and maybe run. They're kind of.
So he can die and then he can take his banner and leave.
Try and kill yourself if you can. I guess you can't.
No, I can't.
So that's also a bad play by Hal. Now I will just 2x speed this.
They're just looting my box. Like you can scan. You have so many tools. Like get the banner. You can scan. You have favorites. Turn off. I don't know.
He should be scanning just. Because if he scans and they're ratting, he can just leave, right? But if he scans and no one's there, then he can walk up without dying.
You could be ratting. You should have scanned this.
It's a very safe play.
I say go sky.
You should have just scanned a little bit earlier so it was even more safe.
Hook.
Or you, just, or you can stand there. We can loot that shit. But it's risky.
I saw C9 hit me.
Every time we res here, we die. Sky hook.
Or you just.
Alright. You can rest Skyhook, you can rest up here, you can rest in survey, and you can rest right here. You can also rest down here, but I wouldn't recommend it because Frag West is already looted as we went over before, and it's only scrap loot left, right? So we have this spot, which is bad because it's very like centered. You know that there is C9 lands up here in Climatizer. They have looted for a while and they should be in survey camp or epicenter, and if they see a dropship coming in right here, they will pull up and shoot the fuck out of you. You can't go server because C9 is probably over there. You can go to this one or this one. I would recommend going Skyhook because it's so many buildings that whenever you land, you have so much cover to move around with. And there's also quite a lot of loot because of the fact that it's so many buildings that contains, even though it's scrap loot, still a lot of loot. But if it's a team in Skyhook, then you can't rest because you will get run down. So then I would probably just go up here, and this is the safest spot to what's it called? Rest in.
Or you can stand there. We can loot that shit. But it's risky.
Away.
Back. Those guys are. Maybe go northeast. Go northeast. Like that.
Possible.
Those guys are. Maybe go northeast. Go northeast.
Okay, so there is a team in Skyhook. Therefore, he should just take the zip line, and that's like over here, and zip up and walk in and rest him here, because resting in Skyhook is a death sentence. When it's a team there and you drop down with white armor and a team fully kitted has probably crafted as well, you're just dead. No doubt.
Yeah. I can take a zip.
I'd be dead now. They're walking at you. They know you're solo now.
They're just watching you fucking run solo. What are you even doing? Huh?
I forgot what that zip was, not gonna lie. Yeah, I'm respawning up here on the north side.
I feel like we go to Skyhook still. After this respawn. There's like nothing for us to play next time. Just walk in. Outbound maybe?
Well, like, what chance we go back to loot?
I feel like the team will be there, but...
I don't know, just try to get, like, as...
Alright, so I would go in loot tunnel. Then the zone is closing in exactly where they died. They died over here. The zone is ending right there. So you will see a team coming in late playing edge, probably C9, playing there. If you know the teams, you know that C9 always plays edge, and they would probably come in and play over here. Or it's maybe a Skyhook team that has moved in here. You don't know, but I am pretty positive that it will be a team playing right here. And if the safest play would probably be to go into Skyhook and loot and craft and take your time, because this is only zone.
As much, I'm trying to think, like, we go Skyhook and we know guaranteed there's a team over there. I don't know what they're doing, maybe they're hitting the beacon, but...
There is, like, this is zone 2 coming in like 1 minute 30 seconds. Zone 2 you can outlast or heal out with like syringes and medkits very easily.
Here, give me the Kraber, Evan.
Any shotgun? Or is anything actually up the side?
Have you the Kraber?
cells.
Prowler, goes in. Turbo. I have a turbo for your
I need
help.
that, yeah.
I have an Eva over here too. You want the Eva?
No.
I'm gonna probably. Drop me 40 energy.
So I think the best play and the safest play is to go to Skyhook. Because the team that was there should leave. Because Skyhook is in his zone. But we'll see.
Well, let's see. Let's just see where they're at. If they're there, we might just have to sit and fragment or something. Can't really fight with double white. I know we have a Kraber, but
Walk up behind the team that's over here. I'm gonna check us and if you get the Kraber pick. And I can split ult in, distract for you guys. Go learn back here.
okay.
I can have
Alright,
use
let's.
for that.
They do have a Kraber though, so as with a Kraber you want to in a scenario where you have 2 whites and a gold, you want to play very slow and just wait for a Kraber pick. That's your only way to win a fight. Pretty much.
Let's walk up. Let's take the building roof and see.
And then opting to go in and to their death boxes instead of going to Skyhook and looting makes it so they will probably run into fights.
Roof of the building.
I'm gonna scan it.
Really, bro?
Let's go up there.
I'm looking for a pick.
Back.
Recharging shield.
Can we even like?
I think,
That's dip.
They poured it on us.
Onto us, I think.
or let's see.
Nice.
Nice.
And they get a Kraber pick, very nice.
I'm healing.
Recharging shield.
I arced them.
I'm nading.
Walking a little bit.
I naded the shit out of them. Hey,
90 on Ash.
Hitting verts. Hitting them with verts.
Ash
can
was
we
cracked.
finish it down?
Ash dead. Ash dead. He's
Nice.
I finished it down.
behind that crate. Ash is healing behind that crate.
I'm going right.
Play slow, dude.
I tetted them.
On me. Cracked. I got Ash. Taking me, I think.
He's he's chasing.
He's slow.
I'm popping a swing.
One shot. Nice. Dude, good trigger.
Just tank the gas. Just tank the gas.
And this was a risky fight because if they wouldn't have got the Kraber pick, the enemy team probably would have killed them because they had 2 whites. I'm not saying they would have died. I'm just saying the likelihood running into zone where you know people are with double white is such a risky and stupid play. I just don't agree with. I do not agree with it at all. But they're playing with fire and I don't like it. It's not a good strategy plan.
Turbocharger.
I'm dropping it back.
But now they have, what's it called? They have loot and stuff like that, so now they can move into zone. And if there's a team here that I predict it will be, move your... Wait, I want to see the minimap. If there's a team here that... Fuck, you know, if there's a... Yeah, either way, if it's a team in a choke, then they have things to shoot them with and maybe kill them with.
Walking in here.
You want a mech kit first?
They aren't completely naked is what I'm trying to say.
I have a mech kit for you.
Evan, scan that.
It's fine.
Come on, drop me the med kit.
Okay, before we go into this fight, they have scanned the team over here where they died, which is behind this rock and in this choke, right? They're gatekeeping them. You either need to walk through a choke, which is not an easy thing, where they also have a high ground, or you need to go down here and go up where they also have high ground. So this whole scenario is, if you want to fight this team, you're going into maybe a 60-40 or a 7-30, not a 50-50 fight. Therefore, I wouldn't want to take this fight, and I would opt to go into West Frag because it's still zone 2. You don't take that much damage, and you do have a gold. So if you get really low, you can pass the gold around and heal with syringes to get extra health, right? So fighting this team right here is You're putting yourself in a disadvantage going into the fight, and that's not good. You shouldn't take those fights. But we'll see what to do.
Wait.
There's a team here.
I guess we shouldn't scan. Yeah, I can put Ash port over there on my ping.
Yeah, you're gonna have to do that.
You gotta get to me though.
Coming.
I'm here.
Wait, they're trying to gatekeep us. Hold on, I can't now.
Yeah, they're one shot already in the rock. They're kind of close.
I'm putting Gibby on the left, on the rock.
I'm healing. Evan, right next to you.
They give you up to us.
You
One down.
Come.
Throw back to dodge us.
I have no health meds. I have no health meds right now.
Okay, listen, we have to take this and go to fragment.
Good. We like that plan.
Okay.
I have no health meds.
Hold on, wait. Fuck.
That is
I'll see him.
I'm Ash porting forward.
Take this Phoenix hit. Take this Phoenix hit.
I'm Ash porting forward. Take it.
Taking it.
Wait, behind. I'm popping it back. No, I'm dead.
Caustic one.
Can't, like, I don't. We should never scan.
That was horrible.
One down.
This is what I say. They're already in a disadvantage going into this fight. They either need to go for a choke with high ground, or they need to go through, go into an uphill battle where the enemy team has high ground. So this is just not a losing scenario, but a disadvantage just going into the fight. And he even said we should go into West Frag, and then he just switched his mind for some stupid reason. I don't know why. And as we can see, like, they all have 50 health, pretty much. So if you go in now to the fight, you're 50 HP down on every single character on your team, or every single legend on the team, right? And that's 150 team health less than the enemy team just going into the fight, and the enemy team has high ground. Like, there's no a winning scenario coming out from this. Oh wait. Fuck.
no health meds.
Hold on, wait. Fuck.
That is
I'll see him.
I'm Ash porting forward.
Take this Phoenix hit.
I'm Ash porting forward. Take it.
Taking it.
Wait, I'm gonna.
Fuck.
I want to make one more point on this thing, on this stupid fight that they have chosen to take. Ash portaling right now is also a very stupid decision, because Hal, one, hasn't checked about his teammates' health. Reps is almost fucking dying. Verhol's 50 HP. He is topped off, but that doesn't mean his team is. Two, we know there's an enemy team up here, but we can't see them. We don't know anything more. We can assume that there may be a team over here. So if you go and up on this rock, the enemy team, or a potential team with 15 squads remaining, that there will be a team up here as well, waiting to shoot you. And this is what we call a blind rotate. And a blind rotate is your last resort in every single scenario. By you portaling in, you have to then look around, find where the enemy's at, and then shoot them. While the enemy can see you in a snap, and everybody just shoot at you. So, with you not knowing if there's another team back here, where the enemies from this team are at, and where you need to position yourself, doing this is a blind rotate, and you should never do it unless it's your last resort. And it's not, because they can go into West Frag. And that's why it's such a stupid fucking play. He comes out of it, loses like 75 HP. Just him turning around. Then he needs to pull his gun out. Let's see how much damage he's taken by then. He doesn't even have time to pull his gun out. I don't think it's a team over here, but still, it's just so bad. They're just taking a disadvantaged fight, and that's just stupid in every single scenario. They got 15th with 6 kills. That equals 6 points. Just a bad game in general. Like, they got 6 kills, which is good, but they're playing with so much fire and doing plays that aren't safe, and it's not a smart decision. But either way, GG, I guess.